Hello, brothers and sisters. Welcome back to Wisdom from Up Above, right? The book of Proverbs. As we learned last time in the introduction, the whole point of Proverbs, the book and the very idea of it, is not to give us rules for life. Do this, don't do that. No, it's to help us think like God. Yes, it's in the context of the law. We cannot forget that. But the law is also an expression of God's heart and mind. This is a book to help us think rightly, think like God, think biblically. Not for special revelation, and especially not twisting God's word, but understanding it. And now the writer of the book will lead us through a dark path and a light path. That will be for next time. And in that dark path, he's going to tell us not to do this. He's going to warn us. But in his warning, he's trying to teach us to understand and recognize these traps. So let's try to learn from them, shall we? He will be calling upon his son. And this is, I don't think, an actual father writing to his son or Solomon writing to his kids, but more of a disguise he's putting on. A little bit like at some points he's going to pretend to be wisdom itself. I mean, after that, folly itself. It's not literally folly or wisdom, it's an image. He's using an image that invokes, listen to me. Because in the law, it does say that parents were responsible for training their kids in the way of the Lord. Kids had to listen and to learn from their parents. So there's a sense where this teacher calling to his son is just a way of saying, listen to me as you would listen to your parents. But hey, feel free to disagree. I really think this is imagery language. And he will call to his son at least 3 times to get his attention on danger that's before him. But first, he wants to tell them something important that will keep them from danger. He will say this: hear, my son, your father's instruction, and forsake not your mother's teaching. Again, repetition. It's short and to the point, and it's repetition, instruction, teaching. It's pretty much saying the same thing. You need to learn. You need to learn. You need to hear it. When it speaks of receiving, actively doing it too. Not just hear what I have to say, but be willing to do it. Hearers and doers, as James would say. Or on the flip side, in a more negative way, don't forsake the teaching of your mother. Don't push it away. So go get it, apply it, and don't push it away. And now he's going to encourage him to tell him why he needs that instruction. Again, this is not necessarily about parents teaching their kids, but receive the instruction and the teaching of those more wise than you. Because for they are a graceful garland for your head and pendants for your neck. Adorn it. It will make you really beautiful to put on wisdom, instruction, truth. I think there's more than just beauty in here. He really does seem to speak about treasures itself, right? Garland or crown, to be more literal, and a pendant, like a necklace. Sounds like treasures. Keep that in mind. Put it in your pocket. We'll look at it later. So wisdom is like a treasure. Teaching, instruction is like a treasure. And now we're going to the back alleys. Yeah, he's going to say, my son, again, I want your attention. If sinners entice you, do not consent. Shocking, right? That he doesn't even try to hide it. They're just sinners. That's it. They're just wicked people. No, they had a bad upbringing and maybe there's some good in them. Look, they're sinners. And all they want to do is entice you, seduce you, try to get the best of you. That's what evil does. Always trying to lure you into the darkness. And don't miss the aspect of do not consent. You're still responsible. You can't say, I was seduced. It's not my fault. The devil made me do it. No, you consented though. Even if we are tempted, sin is always consensual. We always did it voluntarily. Thought it, spoke it, acted on it. You consented to it. Never forget that. But as he said, do not consent when they're trying to seduce you. These are sinners. You should think of bad guys in movies, at least the older ones. They always dressed in black. They always had a certain demeanor. You knew that guy's the bad guy. Don't listen to them. Here's the way they're going to behave. Here's how they're going to try to seduce you. If they say, "Come with us, let us lie in wait for blood. Let us ambush the innocent without reason." Do you see how quick it evolves? Right? Come, then we lay in wait, and then we ambush. In the span of just a few phrases, they've already attacked somebody. And that's the point. That's what sin does. That's how quick it acts. Think of James, that warns us about sin in chapter 1 and tells us how there's an enticement, and then we bite to it, and next thing you know, you're dead. Right? Sin brings death. It's just that quick. It's that slippery slope, right? You go close to the edge, I'm not sure. Okay, I don't want. Whoa! Next thing you know, you're down in the ravine. That's what you should be invoking here, thinking about here. They have no reason for what they're doing. Why? They're just sinners. Do not miss also the us that keeps being repeated, right? Come with us. And let us ambush. They're trying to call them to the community life. Because there's a longing in all of us to be part of the community, a fellowship, or brotherhood, if you will, or a sisterhood. And these bad guys, they know. I mean, street gangs, their biggest way to get people in their group is to give them a family for those who have broken homes. They look for those kids that are missing a father or a mother, broken homes, violence everywhere, and they give them a community. And they know that they will become loyal to that. It's always about the family. It's always about the community. Just like them. That's it. That's why we know we need the family of God to keep us from the family of the devil. But I digress. They're not finished yet. Like Sheol, let us swallow them alive and whole, like those who go down to the pit. What imagery, right? They want to grab hold of them, swallow them up as if the death itself had swallowed them up. They want to throw them down the dark pit of death itself. This should remind us of the rebellion of Korah, Abiram, and Dathan in the Old Testament. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go read the book of Numbers and you'll see. Or certain men tried to rebel against Moses. And some of these leaders got literally swallowed up by the earth. It opened up and they fell alive into that place of death. This is what they want to do. They want to swallow up death. Swallow them up as if death itself was swallowing them up. But we're going to see at the end, this is going to turn against them. Just like it did in that rebellion against Moses. But it's not finished yet. We shall find all precious goods, and we shall fill our houses with plunder. This is when I pull out my pocket that idea of the riches, the treasure of wisdom, when compared to the treasures they want to give you. It's like Jesus saying, do not treasure up stuff on earth, but instead treasure up stuff in heaven. Because that's where your heart's going to be. And here's this author, way before Jesus, telling us, you either put your heart in the true important things of wisdom and see that as a treasure, or you'll be lured away by earthly treasures, just like Jesus tells us in the Sermon on the Mount. They're offering a lot of great gifts, but just before that, the Father said, no, you should see wisdom, instruction as your true gift. Do we? Do we really? They will also add this, though. Throw in your lot among us, and we will all have a purse. Again, this unity thing. This unity would say, you're one of us. You're part of us. Follow us. Share with us. So dangerous. This is when the Father will speak up again and cry out to his Son and say this, my son, do not walk in the way with them. Hold back your foot from their paths. These words should remind us of Psalm 1. Or you can read this. Blessed is the man who walks not in the counsel of the wicked, nor stands in the way of sinners, nor sits in the seat of scoffers. And I know it's kind of popular to say that these are the different levels of following evil people. You walk and then you sit, and then you stand and you sit. But this is poetry. This is Hebrew parallelism. This is being the same thing in different ways. It's all about being in community with what is evil, with those who are sinners, just like our text. Right? He's not just talking about walking as in don't take a walk with them. He's really hinted at the danger of being connected with them. Walking in the light with God means being in fellowship with Him, just like we're in fellowship with one another, as John says. And this is the same thing here. Don't be in fellowship with them. Keep yourself away from that. Repeated two different ways. It's the same warning. Stay away from it. And there's a reason for it. For their feet run to evil, and they make haste to shed blood. We saw before, right, how quick the succession of attack went. Come, then we'll lay, and then we'll ambush. Boom, boom, boom. It starts with just, come, let's hang out, and then we're attacking people and killing them. That's because they are supercharged to do evil. Because they don't want to hold back. They want to give themselves headfirst in evil. And they'll just pull you along with them like a riptide. That's the warning. That's why you're not supposed to be in fellowship with them. You need to be careful about that. So that's what Paul says in 1 Corinthians 5. That we are not to fellowship with those brothers or sisters. Those who say they're brothers and sisters. Who are living in, not struggling with, living in gross sin, persistent sin, and they see no problem and no desire to repent. Why? Because they'll pull you into that. Whatever it is, they'll pull you into that. Stay away from that, my son. Because they'll pull you into that very bad stuff. And there's going to be some consequences for them, as we will now start discovering. For in vain is a net spread in the sight of any bird. And that's one of those riddles that he was speaking about in the first section. Right? A riddle that he's going to help us figure out and think properly through it. And I can say, having read many commentaries, we're not sure exactly what he's saying with the phrase. I mean, it could be the idea that it's that the bird will recognize it's a trap and won't go. But as others have pointed out, once you leave, the bird will forget it's a trap and go for it. So it could be either one, but I think the most important, and that's what everybody was saying, is to focus on that first part. In vain is a net spread. It's empty. It's silly. Either the bird won't fall for it, or the bird's stupid enough to fall for it. Either way, there's something very bad's going to happen when you set up a trap. That's the idea. There's something really bad when you set up a trap. He's going to explain that. He's going to say, these men lay in wait for their own blood. They set an ambush for their own lives. They're putting traps out. They're attacking people, and it's going to come against them. They're digging holes, and they're going to fall into it. Like we see sometimes in comedy movies. The guy's trying to put a trap for the bad guy, or for the good guy, and then the bad guy falls in instead. But this is not comical. This is very serious. Because God is at work. He is the righteous judge. And the evil stuff that they're trying to set up, not always, we know, but it will turn against them. Eventually they will meet their God, and that will be one horrible ending for sure. But either way, there's going to be some severe consequences. So that's where he wants to go with this. Well, he finally ends and says, such are the ways of everyone who is greedy for unjust gain. It takes away the life of its possessors. Greedy really speaks of taken by violence. That's what the word means. They want what is not theirs, and they'll take it any way they can. There'll be consequences for that, as he says, right? They want to take away, and instead their life will be taken away. They want to steal, and their existence, their good standing, their health will be taken from them, stolen from them. But we should not just focus on, don't go with criminals. Don't be part of a gang. It's way more than that. This represents the idea of don't follow with sinners down the path of sin. Recognize how it's going to pull you in. Recognize how quickly it can pull you in. Do we take sin seriously, brothers and sisters? Do we? Do we take such warnings seriously? Or do we play around with it? Justify certain fleshly, God dishonoring behavior that's spoken about, like unforgiveness and bitterness, and frustration, and justify that? Or how about the idolatry of wanting and desiring what we don't need? Or as John would say, the love of the world, which is all about these desires of the flesh I must have, desires of the eyes. I see it, I must have it. Do we fight against that? Do we crucify that? Do we take it seriously? Because it will pull us down mighty quickly. I believe that's what this Father is trying to tell us as children. I hope we will take these words seriously, recognizing that there will be some severe consequences when we get caught in that riptide. We can drown. Let us fight the good fight, dear brothers and sisters. On this note, be blessed.